Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the worship service. For gracious use of the video performances by the UUCMP Adult and Children's Choir. So with that, I will allow David an opportunity to give the announcement.
Announcement. Anybody go to camp in the summer? No, nobody went to camp? I went to camp. Oh, well, then what I was going to say just went away. Okay, so announcements. First, COVID. Your board, when they met last Wednesday, talked about COVID and how the incidents of COVID were up the last month. They're seem to be coming down a little bit now in Shawnee County. But the decision was made to leave everybody to their own personal responsibility. If you you can always watch the program at home. You can wear a mask here without any issue. And there's also sanitizer and masks at the doors. Any questions on our policy should be directed to my dear wife, Bobby Schaeffer, president of the board. Okay. Friday, the 26th, we have gone ahead and moved our dinners for all, or second Sunday lunch, or whatever you want to call it, to the 26th this month. It is the dinner and game night, and it is going to be at Lake Shawnee Shelter House number 3. No, it's not haunted. I've heard that rumor, but it really isn't haunted. Rob has flyers. If you need help remembering or anything, Rob can hold your hand up and Rob will bring you a flyer. Yep, there you go. One over there, one over there, one over there, a couple over there. It is a Friday night. Yes, I asked the same question.
Another question. Is there a perfect potluck sign up or is it just to bring whatever?
Well, that is a good question, Rob. Vicki? Okay, just bring whatever. Yes. Well, the question was, thank you for reminding me, sir. The question was, is it a perfect potluck where you sign up for something? And the answer was, no, bring whatever you want and bring a lot of it. One of my favorite dishes, whatever you want, okay? Actually, I'll read this. It says, there'll be a grill for you to cook your meat or veggies on. Some hot dogs and hamburgers will be provided. Please bring a salad, side dish, or dessert to share along with your favorite beverage. There will be plates, napkins, plasticware. There are chairs and some seating on the deck, but bring your own chair if you wish. Other questions? No. Okay, other announcements, moving right along. I'm just going to go over this week at UUFT because a lot of people don't seem to be able to read this online or in your email. You know what happens on Sunday. There's always a Sunday book discussion at 9 a.m. on Zoom. Today at noon, we are having a program committee meeting. Please join us. We always looking for new, exciting members to come up with new, exciting programs, such as this one. Monday, Chuck Fons has his People Heart Sangha, yoga here in Scanlon Hall. Tuesday, this is a new one, Topeka Moms Demand Action, and this is on gun control. And they are just starting to meet here. If you're interested, they'll be in the library at 6:30 on Tuesdays. And at 7 o'clock, somewhere in the building, the Racial Justice Book Club will be here. Thursday at 7 p.m., there's a Social Justice Committee meeting. Again, another committee that would love if you would come out and join us. We will be in the library. And of course, on Friday, as I said, the Dinner for All and Family Game Night. Anybody else have an announcement? Yes, Rob, come on up to the microphone, please. And I do have one more thing.
I wanted to say, David, I think the Chuck Fons is not yoga, but meditation.
Yes.
It's a meditation. Oh, well, I apologize. I wish somebody had corrected me before.
And I just wanted to clarify, the Racial Justice Book Club is online. There's a link to the YWCA page where you can find information about that.
Thank you. One more announcement. Excuse me.
Good morning. Next Sunday, after the service at about 11:45, I'd like to have a parents' meeting for all families with children in the kids' RE classroom to discuss spirit play. After that, I'm going to have a volunteer meeting. I think I put it down at 12:30.
1 o'clock.
I put it down at 1 o'clock. All right, we can have a break. That's good. 1 o'clock next Sunday, there will be a volunteer meeting for everybody interested in helping out with spirit play and other forms of volunteer with RE. Thank you.
The only other thing I want to mention today is that today is the first day that we are using our new camera along with the new lens that came in this week. Everything works great, and thank you, Jake, for getting us all set up on that. Yes, Vicki.
And David, I think there was another announcement about second Sunday lunch.
Oh, I thought this was last week's.
Nope.
Okay, thank you for reminding me. Oh, September. I should have read it. September 2nd Sunday lunch is set up for the 11th, organized by Jana and Vicki George. You can sign up for this one at perfectpotluck.com. And George is the password. No, the password is UUFT. I'm sorry. I misread that. August lunch had been postponed due to concern over COVID, and we will continue with the guidelines already in place, which I mentioned before. We need some vegan or vegetarian dishes, gluten-free, etc. Please sign up and attend. A good time will be had by all.
Thank you, David. All right. So we have the opening music now. Touch the Sky, sung by the UUCMP Adult and Children's Choir. It says Children's Choir over here, but it's both.
the sky is clear and bright. You see mountains sing and beckon, lead me out into the light. I will ride, I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. Where it's dark woods, tight secret, and mountains are fierce and bold, deep waters hold reflections of times lost long ago. I will hear their every story, take hold of my own dream, be as strong as the seas are stormy, and proud as the eagle's stream. I will ride, I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. Touch the sky. Chase the wind, chase the wind, touch the sky.
So, for the chalice lighting. I'm a little confused here. We gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world. Now we'll have the story for all ages read by Aaron Forstein.
Children, if you'd like to join me up here, you may. Good morning. Today's service is about stories, and I'm going to read one of my absolute favorite stories called Where the Wild Things
We
Are.
have this book.
Do you have this book?
I love that book.
Who has
Need
read
your
this
mic.
book before?
I've watched the movies.
Is it on?
Scarred.
Is it on? It is on.
Okay.
Can people hear me?
I was scarred from the movie.
The book is different than the movie, which is good, because I agree, I love the book. All right. The pictures will be up on the screen if you cannot see them. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said,
I'll eat you up. Oh, that's better. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew and grew. Yes. And grew. until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." And so they howled and danced under the moon and swung from the branches of the trees and paraded around with Max on their shoulder because he was king. Does that look like fun? Yes. Yeah. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him most of all. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But yes? You can't just leave your job, right? It's hard. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. It's some good hot soup. Now, let's sing out the children.
Spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Now we will start with our morning offering.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this
Together we share, and by this we live. Thank you for your generous gifts. Now, we will commence with the joys and concerns read by David Schaeffer.
Well, I haven't heard from anybody this week, so I'm kind of hoping everybody's doing well out there. We have one birthday, Audrey Lehman, on August 25th, and so I leave it to you. Is there anyone out there who has a joy or a concern that they would like to come up and talk about? Richie McDonald.
I'm not sure where I read it on the internet this morning, but there was a message from Carolyn Ward. She's not able to be with us again today. Her father is in the hospital. As you recall, her mother died just a couple weeks ago. But her father's in the hospital awaiting a pacer, is what she called it. And she said, and yes, I'm still homeless from the fire that moved her out of her home 7 months ago. So keep Carolyn in your thoughts. And if you have time, send her a note. Thank you.
Thank you, Richie. I missed that one. Anyone else? Any joys? No? Okay, then I will get off the podium.
Thank you, David.
Sure.
Now we will hear from Janine Silsby.
Actually, I was hoping all of you, or some of you, could help me with this. I may have miscalculated a bit. I thought everybody my age and older would know this song, and it's apparently not. But maybe not everybody didn't have the mother that sang around the house and played the piano and exposed us to all the popular music at the time. But the words to this, and it was the first thing that popped into my head when Micah told me stories was going to be the theme for this service. But the song is, tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would, you gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, and then I'll go to bed. Now, I'll sing it a couple of times. I'm just going to do the chorus. If you look this up on Google, you will understand why we're not singing it's no longer politically correct or whatever. But this part is, tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would. You gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, and then I'll go to bed. Try it again. Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would. You gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, and then I'll go to bed.
Thank you, Janine. That was wonderful. Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from our guest reflector. She's a member of the Worship Associates group at the UUCMP, and I am actually doing a reflection for a service that she's leading in Carmel, California, just a little bit after this one finishes. So we're doing the same theme, that is, she's doing stories there, I'm doing stories here, and we just swapped leads and reflections. So she's provided a reflection for us here.
Good morning, Topeka. from the Monterey Peninsula of California, the recent temporary home of the Topeka Forsteins. Our two congregations. Good morning, Topeka. From the Monterey Peninsula of California, the recent temporary home of...
It's not working?
Hang on, we're gonna try something.
Okay. Thank you for your patience during the technical difficulties.
Good morning, Topeka. From...
We have to get off the TV.
All right. Give it a shot.
The Monterey Peninsula of California, the recent temporary home of the Topeka Forsteins. Our two congregations, the UU Fellowship of Topeka and the UU Church of the Monterey Peninsula, are enjoying similarly themed services today thanks to the creative reuse recycling of ideas by Micah. So that he's sharing some of his ideas that he created for you with us, and I'm sharing some of my ideas that I created for us with you. Even though neither one of us is in either of those places, we're very, very grateful for technology. My interest in stories was supercharged earlier this year when I volunteered to become a worship associate at UUFT, the church out here. The worship associates meet monthly and come up with ideas and volunteer to play parts in Sunday service. We help the ministers. We are trained ministers to someone, and we support each other. We make sure things happen and that things are covered. I've been a UU for a long time. I thought about how the Sunday sausage was made. So I thought, yeah, this will be easy. But there were some big surprises for me. One of the most visible things that a worship associate does here is present a 5-minute what we call a reflection. It's just a little personal story tied to the subject of the day. Like today, stories. So it doesn't require a lot of research or anything. It just tells something apart, something experienced, thing, whatever. I have a lot of words in my head. I didn't think that would be a problem for me. But what I didn't know was how valuable it would be. Staring at the screen was just a general topic. Forced me to sort of step back, look inside, think about how I could turn some experience from my life into a story and share it. The first one, one of the recent one I had was Lesson in Hard Times. My first reaction was, I've had an easy life. I can't talk about hard times. But then I thought, well, there was that thing. That was pretty hard. That happened when I was a kid. But there's no blessings that come from that. Until I realized there were. It created empathy for other people in that situation. It gave me the ability to kind of reach out to somebody in a similar situation. You know, I know, it sucks. You'll get through it. It also, doing these reflections, not only does it allow the congregation to know me, but it really has helped me. Surprisingly, get to know something about me. The importance of stories has also been kind of hit me over the head lately because of my most recent obsessive hobby, which is family history. With the COVID-19 pandemic shutting everything down, I had a little time on my hands. I took some classes, learned about how to do research properly, and also how to write about what I learned. One of the most important things that I've learned from that process is the importance of filling in the context around Nancy's life. And then also, putting it down, writing it out. What happened? Why did it happen? You know, what do you need to know to understand this person? It makes doing family history worthwhile. As luck would have it, I have examples, and they both come from Kansas. As a Californian, I had never heard of leading Kansas until I started family history. And it turns out I had all kinds of relatives in that region, and it's one of my favorite pieces of UUFT history now. My third great grandma was Martha Jane Gray. She was born in Ohio, she died in Missouri, and she was the mother of 11 children. And that was all I knew. I mean, that's fine. At least I know who she is. You know, I can fill out the tree. But when I started learning about Bleeding Kansas and learned about her fleeing her farm in 1862 because she had 6 sons serving in the United States Army and it was not safe for her to be in Missouri any longer, you know, she suddenly started to seem more real to me. She eventually was able to come back to her farm, which had been burned to the ground, had been stripped of all value and burned to the ground. And the same was true for everybody in their extended family. They returned to a community where neighbors had literally been killing each other, and where everything had been burned to the ground. There's a lot of drama in Martha's life that that I am really happy to know about now. It makes her real to me. I have a great-grandfather on a different line who was born on a homestead outside of Wichita. And in researching his life, you know, I learned about the blizzards and the locusts and the droughts. I learned about his father, the Civil War veteran who spent months in Andersonville and allowed me to sort of ponder how that trauma would have affected my great-grandfather growing up. Learning about these things, all of these details about his father's experiences, about what it was like to be a homesteader in Kansas in 1880, all those details helped me paint, at least in my imagination, a more complete picture of my great-grandfather, John Chambers, who, after all, reared my own grandmother. My point in all this is that the stories matter. The stories are what makes us who we are. So I encourage you to think about how you might record your stories. You know, just start doing it. Write it down. Record a video. Start a blog or volunteer to share stories from the pulpit. Doing so, you know, will answer questions that you know, will tell things about you that are never going to appear on any official document. You know, think about your kid's birth. Okay, the birth certificate says what time they were born and how much they weighed and who the doctor was, but it doesn't tell you the story of their birth. You know, there's richness in life, but you gotta record it. So I encourage you to do so, and find a way to share it, because by doing so, you really you'll create meaning. It'll be worthwhile. I promise.
A stranger to the dark highway, they say, 'cause no want your broken parts, or to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, 'cause no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown him out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Will fire away, but today I won't let the shame sink in. We're bursting through barricades and breaking walls. We are warriors, and that's what we are. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. Warriors, when the sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown him out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. And I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. This is me. The sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown him out. This is bread, this is truth, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching out to the beat I drum. And I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. The words wanna cut me down. Say the word This is me.
Yesterday, our distant ancestors gathered around a flame to share their stories and find comfort. Tomorrow, our descendants will gather around a flame, talking of a life we will never know. But today, it is we who gather here, around a flame, seeking, believing, and being together. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today about stories. Before I begin, I want to let you know that at the end of the talk, I have a demo of some software that I wrote to help you understand one of the tools that's being used to tell your stories about you. It's a form of artificial intelligence, so we'll take a look at that. As you know, it's difficult to extract stories from our past because the tools, such as oral history, pen and paper, photographic film, and cameras, and the effort that was required to use those tools meant that a lot of our past stories were lost. Or focus only on the most noteworthy ones. But with the advent of the information age, each of our digital stories can capture a moment of text, audio, video, or just data, which freezes that moment in time without much context, which allows us to understand the meaning of that moment. Traditional storytelling by an experienced storyteller like Aaron supplies the needed context for the audience, even if the story changes a little in the telling. Digital recordings do not change but are perfectly preserved for someone to relive, but the context may be lost. Therefore, it is up to us to create the interpretation and add the context. A long time ago, I bought a digital video recorder before going on a vacation. I spent hours and hours recording everything I thought was important to remember during this trip, and spent hours working on editing the video to create a tight summary of what I saw and what I wanted to remember. When I was done, I showed it to a friend who was honest in his criticism. He said, I utterly failed to create an engaging travel summary because there were very few shots of my family expressing their appreciation or weariness or excitement or anything else in the video. The video was completely devoid of community and meaning. Needless to say, I learned from a valuable lesson during that critique, which I took to heart and learned from. Without context and community, our digital stories can lack meaning and joy. In real life, our stories that we share with our community builds cathartic experiences which bind us together through our values and common beliefs. The internet expands or can expand our communities beyond the room that we are in and creates a world community. If the bonds are strong and the energy of the community is positive, it will use that energy to create a safe social space, and the community will grow beyond the room, because with the technology, we no longer have to be within earshot to share our stories and beliefs. To assist us online, there are many websites that allow us to extend our storytelling to the very homes of our loved ones. Such a service like storycorps.org allows us to share special moments with others and help preserve our common history of experience that help us to understand the human condition. Be aware, however, that even with the very positive actions of building a community and recording our stories, we must keep an eye open for the possibility that others may not share our beliefs or ethics and are telling their own stories about us. What we do when we're online tells a story written by an entity, living or artificial, individual or corporate, who are using the recorded information to build an image of you that of you are to them according to their motives. Know that there's a whole class of companies out there called data aggregators that have an entire story on you, where you shop, what you buy, what entries like doctor's appointments or travel plans are on your calendar in your email. Many of these companies use artificial intelligence to summarize your information in a specific way. I'll show you some AI at the end of this talk so you can better understand what we're talking about. Whether it's Facebook using an AI algorithm to search your social media to flood you with commercial posts about surfboards and tennis rackets so they can sell more ad space to the manufacturers of these items, or you're tailoring your news based upon what you read so that you only see what appeals to you so that the news organization can sell more subscriptions or ad space. These digital stories may not tell a story that you want because they were not created by you. In addition, there are those out there who would use your digital story to steal from you or impersonate you for their own dubious purposes. So, how do we manage our story online? First and foremost, be your best self. Be kind and careful about what you share. Don't comment cruelly or laughingly at somebody else's Jerry Springer moment or your own. Be the best self you wish to be and how you wish to be remembered. Even if you never plan to hold a public office or take a position with some responsibility that requires a public reputation, small and seemingly inconsequential digital comments can come back to haunt you, or your children, or your more distant descendants, sometimes decades after the fact. I point to former Senator Al Franken, who was drummed out of office for an off-the-cuff, offensive photo when he was nothing more than a famous comic who thought you could get away with anything in the name of comedy. Also, online data accuracy is important. You must be proactive and make sure you're actively checking the information that is available about yourself to make sure that it's accurate. It's okay to let others tell a story about you, provided that it's true and that you are doing it for the convenience of online shopping, online food ordering, and the like. Next, make sure your information about yourself is correct by searching yourself online. If you find information that's inaccurate or incorrect, actively make sure that you seek out the holder of that information and have it corrected. For example, if you pull your credit report from one of the big three agencies such as Equifax or TransUnion, and you see a former address in your credit report, call their fraud department and have them removed, because if the information is incorrect, it can lead to others who live in those places now, who might have bad credit, getting your credit tainted simply because they live where you used to live. And mistakes like that can happen. Next, consider being selective, but avoid the echo chamber. Consider being selective on who your digital friends are, but try to avoid the echo chamber. Don Shenham, IT director at Think Surgical, where I work, whose spouse is a UU minister, suggested that the challenge of being too selective with your online associates is that you may end up in an echo chamber. If you only interact online with people you agree with on most topics, you may end up reinforcing your views and never be open to changing or evolving on certain topics. That's the challenge, how to examine ideas outside your comfort zone, but at the same time protecting yourself from emotional and mental anguish. So, how do we convey our principles to share and protect ourselves from misrepresentation and victimization? Well, I'm not a cybersecurity expert or law enforcement officer at a cybercrime division of the government. As an engineer who deals with digital data every day, I feel it is my responsibility to act as a digital version of an elementary school crossing guard and give you some basic common sense information on how to manage your digital footprint as you cross on foot into the overwhelming traffic that is today's internet. First, on account of security, use common sense. Don't use 123456 as your password or the word password as your password. Use something complex that is not easily guessed. In fact, play a game with your most trusted family members. Ask them to guess what your passwords are. If they can guess, change it. The National Institute of Standards and Technology offer the following guidance. Best password is referred to as a passphrase. That is, I need my morning coffee, ! 123. Or another one that's even harder to crack, go Shockers 123. Go, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, I don't know, combined with something from Kansas State or something, I don't know. The whole point is, the longer it is, the better. I actually set my passwords so long that by the time I get around to logging back into another session with that, I've forgotten what it is, and I have to reset my password again. That is the necessary evil associated with passwords. So just beware that your passwords are important. Secure your information offline. That is, if you have stories, photos, videos, or anything else that you want to keep that is online, make sure that you back that up onto a removable disk that is, once backed up, disconnected from your computer and put it in a drawer. At the same time, consider making a copy of your operating system and the programs that you use. So when you first set up a computer, you load all this software on. At that point, before you start using it, back it up. Back it up so that if anything ever happens to that computer, that you can grab that information, wipe it off, and restore everything that you just had. And I know this sounds like a lot of work, but there are lots of technical professionals out there who are willing and able to help you through that process. Even if you are careful and you or your business can be subject to an online attack, ransomware, cyber attack, especially if the business is successful and advertises it. Hackers are not to be underestimated in their ingenuity. Recently, a casino lost millions of dollars simply because they installed an internet-connected thermostat in a fish tank that was not properly password enabled. The result is that the hackers were able to get into the network simply because they went through the thermostat. So based on that, be careful on what you click on or comment on, which emails you open, and if you don't know the source or format that you're used to, don't click on the link. If you can't give your friends a call or get a message out of the blue saying, "Did you send this to me?" then be cautious. If you're plagued by a series of pop-up windows that don't let you start your computer and turning it off and on won't solve the problem, consider seeking technical assistance from someone you trust. Don't panic, and use an unaffected device to change or close your accounts as needed. But if your information is secure, Even these attacks can be managed and recovered from, especially if you follow the advice I just spoke about. Once the ideas are habits, the internet becomes a less risky place to navigate, and you can concentrate on what you do for your digital story and what that says about you. Being able to share my stories as part of the program council is one of the greatest ways I can build a community online and leave it to a much more complete legacy for future generations, in my own words, or my own stumbles, whichever one comes through. With context and meaning, and perhaps drowned out the partial stories written by others. I believe that being connected digitally is the greatest gift of storytelling we could ever have. It allows us to be close to those who would otherwise be distant, whether through space or time. It allows us to work together for the greater good. So I encourage you to use your gift to build and share your own wonderful online stories, so that together our stories can help build a world worthy of our descendants. Now, I promised you a demo of AI to help you better understand some of the tools that are being used to extract the information about you. I don't have a lot of time to go into detail, but I will show you a simple form of AI created originally by cognitive scientists and mathematicians almost 100 years ago. Like our own brain, each circle, can we show the, well, first let's start here. Can anybody see a pattern here? Okay, it's a series of numbers, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the last column is a larger number. Can anybody guess what the relationship is between the first 6 numbers and the last one? Sum. That's right. It's the sum. Now, you wouldn't think that you would have to teach a computer how to add 2 numbers. That's what they're built for, right? But in terms of AI, the first thing you do is you start with a problem. And in this case, we start with a whole set of examples of a relationship. Now, this is a very simple one and one that everybody understands. But you can get much more complex, including things like listing out the last 250,000 lottery tickets and then asking for the numbers that are coming next. Okay, now this won't probably do any better because that's a very random thing, but you can get very complex. And if you think about what you've got, if you think about a process that takes days or weeks or months to get an answer, and you have enough examples of those answers, that's where AI can help, because it'll allow you to take all of that information and to glean something that you would not otherwise have. So the next piece here is the program that I wrote. And this is basically just a very simple AI program. Can you add the input nodes? So these are individual neurons, one for each one of the numbers that we saw in that last table that were inputs to the answer. The next row has all of the, it's called a middle node. And this particular example only allows you one middle node, or one row of middle nodes. But more sophisticated AI will have thousands or even millions of middle nodes, which allow for the connections. Each one of the lines up here between the input nodes, or the input neurons, and the middle neurons represents a connection. And so when you start, every connection is equally weighted. And that as you go ahead and try to get this to answer the question, those weights change. So that the strength between one set of neurons and another set of neurons actually encodes the problem that we're trying to solve, much like we do our own, with our own brains. Go ahead and put the output node. So we have one output node, and that output node connects to the middle nodes. And then we also have a bias node, which just tells the system, hey, you've reached a point where everything is positive, go ahead and create a result, okay? So then I've got the name of the files that we started with, the first one being the training that I showed at the very beginning, so that column of numbers that we saw. And the second one is the results, but we won't take a look at that right now. That's not really that important. What's important is this is an actual neural net, okay? This is what those companies use, a very simple version of what they use to be able to extract the information that you have online. And a lot of the problems, a lot of the things that they want to find out, they don't know how to find out. So they use an even more complex version of this to let the system figure out what the relationships are. But in this particular case, we've got our data set, we've got our answers, we've got our examples. Go ahead and hit train. And you'll notice down here, there's a number right here, maybe a little hard to see, but it's the mean square error. And what that means is that it's taking the information in terms of the results that you saw on that first list, and it's trying to reduce the error associated with the neural net's ability to create that particular result. And so as this number goes down, it's getting closer and closer and closer to being able to best fit that data set, those inputs and the output, such that you end up with a proper knowledge. Now, I've had this run for about 24 hours with this particular data set, and it comes down to about 10% of the accuracy of what it would be to add. So even in this very simple result, it created a relationship that it didn't have any understanding of to begin with. And so that is what a neural net is. And they use these types of programs to quantify and summarize and extract relationships that even you may not have any understanding of. So that's what I wanted to share with you. If any of you would like a copy of this with the input files and the output files, I have USBs over here. You may have to install something called Java on your machine, but that's about it. And that's an easy download. We did it this morning. You just go to the java.org website and click install. So, thank you very much. So, at this point, I will extinguish the chalice. We don't have anything here to extinguish it with. Just blow it out. As we extinguish this chalice, we take its light into our lives to provide meaning and purpose, and hopefully context to our stories. Thank you. Go in peace. The service is over. There's coffee and conversation. I can't say that there's anything out there to eat, but talk amongst yourselves. Sure. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, it is. I couldn't bring her up without setting a tone, and I appreciate this. Thank you. How was it?